It's a tough time to be an Ottawa Senators fan right now. The NHL has just announced that the Sens will have to forfeit their first-round pick in one of the next 3 years, either in 2024, 2025, or 2026. And all this happened because of a trade in July of 2021 between the Senators and the Golden Knights, which sent Evgeni Dadonov to Vegas for Nick Holden and a third-round pick. But the Sens failed to inform Vegas that Dadonov had a 10-team no-trade clause, which eventually caused trouble when Vegas tried to trade him at the deadline in 2022. The Golden Knights would try to trade him and a second-round pick to Anaheim in exchange for John Moore and Ryan Kesler's contract. But the deal was eventually canceled 2 days later by the league because the Ducks were on Dadonov's no-trade list. Something that the Golden Knights didn't know, because the Sens failed to inform them at the time of the original trade in 2021. This was an absolute shit show, because the 2022 trade between Vegas and Anaheim happened at the deadline and was canceled by the league after the deadline. This meant that Dadonov could no longer be traded that season, and he eventually played out the season with the Golden Knights. Imagine everyone knowing the team tried to trade you, but you stopped it because you didn't want to go to that team, and then having to play out the rest of the season for the team that tried to trade you. It's gotta be awkward, but this is just complete ineptitude from the Senators and Pierre Dorion in particular. And man, did the Sens ownership move quickly as they fired him just minutes after this ruling came down from the league about them forfeiting a first-rounder. Dorion had been the GM of the Senators since 2016 and was able to help them reach the conference finals in 2017. But they haven't been able to make the playoffs since then, a gap of 6 years without a single playoff game. Remember the summer of Dorion last year? Things were looking so good for the Senators with the additions of DeBrincat, Giroux, Chychrun, locking up Josh Norris and Tim Stützle to 8-year extensions. Everything looked like it was primed for the Senators to take off and become a playoff team. While the moves didn't work right away as the Sens missed the playoffs once again last season, but at least it marked the end of the rebuild for the Senators. But this season has just been a complete mess if I'm being honest. From the Pinto contract limbo, to him being suspended by the league for 41 games for gambling-related reasons, to the Senators' less than ideal start to the season, having allowed 16 goals in their past 4 games alone. And now this fiasco? It's a rough situation. And all this right after the new ownership group took over just over a month ago? They can't be too happy about this either. Imagine paying almost $1 billion for the Senators, and this is how you're welcomed. A 41-game suspension to one of your promising young players, losing a first-round draft pick, which is literal gold in the NHL, and then firing your long-standing GM all within a month of you buying the team? You can't be happy about that. And the new owner, Michael Andlauer, just confirmed that the league didn't make him aware of both of the investigations prior to his purchase of the Senators. That would royally piss me off if I were him. Honestly, I've liked what I see from Andlauer. He seems very candid in his responses to the media, and he clearly isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. He also announced that Steve Staios will take over as the interim GM for now, with no immediate replacement announced just yet. Where do the Sens go from here? They have a promising roster that can absolutely fight for the playoffs, but all these off-ice distractions need to stop ASAP if they want to get their season back on track. What do you think about the league forcing the Sens to forfeit their first-rounder? It honestly feels pretty harsh to me given how easily the Blackhawks got off for covering up literal sexual assault. Let me know what you think about this crazy day for the Sens. Thanks for watching.